Everyone's favorite Archer is back in theaters, but for all you Hunger Games fans out there,
it's just never enough.
This may not be what you're looking for. But before we get to the art house nonsense, easily holding on to the #1 spot this week is It, bringing in an estimated $60 million in its second week out. With such a strong sophomore weekend, the horror movie's 10-day total is $218 million, making it the highest grossing film released in the month of September ever.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
And pushing it just past the 1986 hit film Crocodile Dundee, which ultimately grossed $174 million at the box office, though it took a lot longer than 10 days. On to #2.
Some bad things happened to you. Now you want to kill those mean old terrorists. You think that qualifies you for my selection process?
My guess is if you and I go hand to hand, you can probably figure out inside of 20 seconds whether or not I have what it takes to make it through selection process. So, what do you say?
Well, the Maze Runner is all grown up. Taking the #2 spot this week is American Assassin, bringing in an estimated $14.8 million in its debut weekend. Considering this film's budget was on the lower end for an action thriller costing just $35 million, this is a better than expected debut for the folks at Lionsgate.
You gave up everything after that, didn't you, Mitch?
And while critics have dubbed this your run-of-the-mill action flick, audiences seem to enjoy it just fine, which is more than I can say for the #3 film this weekend.
God help you.
Taking the #3 spot this week, while also assaulting some tweener J-Law fans, is Mother, bringing in an estimated $7.5 million in its debut weekend. Despite this being a small opening for a relatively low-budget film, it's got all the movie nerds buzzing.
Departing from reality entirely. Yes, this is much more in line with The Fountain.
Yeah.
And I would also say Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, yeah,
which is a movie that I'm not sure I'm ever ready to see again.
No.
And I'm not sure I'm ready to see this again, but I'm wowed by them both.
To put it plainly, this is an art house film, which by definition is, quote, often experimental and not designed for mass appeal. And that's probably why this film carries an extremely rare F on Cinemascore, which is purely a measure of audience reception.
I missed it!
For some context, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 received a B-. Only a dozen or so films have gotten a collective F for moviegoers in modern times. The director of Mother, Darren Aronofsky, has achieved mainstream success before, most notably with Black Swan, which won an Oscar and managed $329 million worldwide. Unfortunately though, with such a small debut and a strong rejection from the average moviegoer, Mother doesn't seem to be headed in that direction. As for next week, remember that time Halle Berry downed a pint of whiskey on stage at Comic-Con? This is the movie she was promoting.
It's very American.
Yeah, it is.